There's nothing wrong with my camera. I don't know why YouTube's done that recently, but it is. So we were pulling cards for reading number 2. Reading number 1 is in the first live. All right. And we're going to start over reading number 2. So let's timestamp it. You can see and hear me now? Yeah, because there ain't nothing wrong with my shit. It's fucking YouTube. Let me give people a second to find me. Hey, Victoria. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know what YouTube's deal is. But we're back. Ain't nothing going to stop me from going live when I'm guided to go live. Y'all know that. All right. New timestamp. Oh, I like that number. 111. Hey. Okay. So, reading number 1 was the past. And it is literally in the past now. In the first live. This is reading number 2 in the present moment. So, reading number 2 is a present moment that you need insight into, okay, in order to move forward. The cards we've got with the Harrow, the Kipper, and my hand-drawn decks for person number 1 and 2. For person number 1, they got the Tyrant with the Dance, the Marriage, and the Publican. That set of cards came out with Distant Horizons and Main Mail from Kipper, and the Fireplace with the Mushroom. Okay, so person number 1 has quite a few cards. Person number 2 came out with the Crows and the Cyclone from the Harrow, which was further clarified with Poverty in the House with Kipper, and the Demon from my hand-drawn cards. Okay. Person number 2 is a fucking doozy. So we're gonna get into this just a bit with person number 1. Let's break their cards down, okay? And they got quite a few, so bear with. The Tyrant is a lawful evil card. It indicates a ruler who is a blight upon those ruled. The Dragon might indicate a monarch, overseer, or the head of household. Whoever this person is, he does harm to those over whom he holds sway, whether he realizes it or not. It came out with Main Male, and I'm definitely feeling like this is a male energy. This person is dealing with a divine dance. The dance is all about the cosmos and the higher spiritual order of things. And it came out with the Marriage and the Publican. Now, the Marriage card is a lawful neutral card. And it can be a union of people, ideas, or other distinct things. The progeny of the salamander and the water weird shows that a union might bring forth new power from both parties, or it might be a ruinous joining of that which should never have been united. Once wedded, the two cannot be parted. It is a card of permanent change. The Publican, being a wisdom card, is chaotic good. So the Publican represents fellowship and camaraderie and a place of refuge for those in need. Most would find the Cyclops inconsequential, but he has insights relevant to the reading or quest. Okay. And like I said, this is potentially someone at a distance from you, right? Someone far away. Someone far away in a location that is not easily reached by you. You would either have to go to some great lengths to get there or transcend, right, to get there. But it is someone who is far away from you. The Fireplace and the Mushroom. The Fireplace is an archetypal energy that holds two different, we'll call it polarities of energy. On one hand, the fireplace can keep you warm. On the other hand, it can burn things, secret things that don't ever want to be found. The mushroom, if you think about Alice in Wonderland, one side makes you big, one side makes you small. Mushrooms can be used in order to hallucinate. Mushrooms can be poisonous and kill you. Mushrooms can also have deeply healing properties. So the mushroom itself has its own polarity. I think that this person has their good side and their bad side. And that there is a reason why cosmically you are aligned with this person right in the present. If you are already married to this person, literally, I don't think anything is going to separate the two of you. I think you guys are stuck with each other. If you are not married to this person yet, I feel like it might be a bad idea. And I only say that because of the second energy. The second energy is fucking wild. You may have also been involved with someone who, especially if this is present and where you are now, and this person is at a distance from you, let's just say, quote unquote, in the clouds, right? Because the distant horizons card is literally a ship floating through the clouds. They may not be physically present on Earth anymore. But you have a connection with them that is unbreakable, right? An unbreakable connection. They may be the main male. It could be something that you question yourself on or wish would just go away or never existed, because knowing them or being connected to them so closely, you might be perceiving that it's interfering in your life when really, yeah, especially with the coffin, right? Especially with the coffin on the bottom, it could, a wealthy man under that. This could be someone who is of high value to you that is no longer here. That could be super specific for some of you. And you might need this reading right now as insight because you're potentially connecting with someone where it could literally be a ruinous joining, right? With someone who is tyrannical or controlling. The dragon breathes fire, you know what I mean? Like, it could be, you could be attached to someone who's quite volatile or quite different from you. And this person that you're involved with, I think, was truly meant to be like a healing medicine for you to transcend away from them, right? To establish some kind of distance. Or they might just end up being the death of you, right? The mushroom. It's like something in small doses can help you build up an immunity. So like small doses of tyranny might help you build up a resistance to tyrannical people. But if you were to take this person in large doses or be involved with them for a long period of time, like a marriage, where you can't separate from them, it could be like that lethal dose, you know? So that's the first energy. The second energy, the crows and the cyclone. The crows and the cyclone. Let's talk about the crows. It's neutral evil. The crows are a dangerous bunch who indicate violent taking of that which is loved. When the crows appear, murder, theft, and other shocking loss occurs. The cyclone is literally that. The cyclone is chaotic evil. It's a force that tears through whatever it meets. This disaster does not come in the course of natural order, but one that comes from the plots of intelligent beings. The cyclone signifies war, arson, or other plans that destroy everything they touch. If this person is living with you, like, you have to understand, first off, especially if you know you're not person number 2, then you have to admit that you're person number 1, that you're healing your own unhealthy obsession with control, and that you're trying to be there for someone, right? The publican is a bartender, and the bartender tends to listen to everybody's problems, right? While they self-indulge at the bar. You're committed to this person in an unhealthy way. This person's really dark. The demon with the cyclone and the crows. Poverty and house. Like, they could either be living in your home, or they could be the crazy kind of psycho that would burn the house down. They could leave you with no money, right? Complete poverty. If you were to marry this person, they would take you for all you've got. Like, if you do have money, and you don't sign a fucking prenup, like, they'll wreck your life. If I can't have it, then no one else is going to have it. If you were guided to reading number 2, and this is a present situation, you have to heal your own dragon and contain your own dragon. Thinking that you could get the demon to submit or change. You are not meant to be with this person, whoever the second person is. Demons come for a reason and a season. They're not meant to stick around unless you are seriously self-loathing. Unless you are seriously self-loathing. Because whoever the second person is, they would put you in the ground before they took the loss. And I know that sounds crazy, harsh to say, but somebody needs to hear it straight, or I wouldn't even be guided to do these readings today. Spirit knows who the fuck I am. Stellium knows who I am. I feel like you may have to do some things. You might have to do some things in secret with the fireplace, right? Burning the evidence or hiding things. Because if the demon, the second person, actually got a hold of it or knew what you were doing or planning, they would wreck it. Like, let's just say, we'll use an example, right? Since the house card is out here. It's like, let's just say you live with this person and you don't want to be with them anymore. So the only way to get rid of them, because they're not going to leave the house or move out of the house, the only way to go would be to sell the house in private, in secret, and up and move. And if they found out, you know, like if they found out you were planning on leaving them, if they found out you were planning on moving, they would rather burn the house down so you can't sell it. So you can't leave. They would rather wreck your life. This person's evil. They got 3 evil cards. Okay? 3. They are attracted to poverty and create poverty. Let's start with 𝗏𝐻𝐵 for person number 1. What insight, please, Spirit? What insight do we need into person number 1? What is going on with them in the present? Where are they at? What do we need to see to better understand so that we can make our highest good choices here? We got the Magician, Gemini, Virgo energy. We got the Knight of Wands. The King of Swords, strong air sign energy, especially Libra. Double Libra, we got the scales on the 6 of Pentacles. You're giving to someone. You are giving to someone financially, whether it's giving them money literally or allowing them to save money or giving them a roof over their head, like whatever it is that you're giving, you're providing some kind of financial stability. It's a one-way give, though. It truly is a one-way give. Yeah. And it's creating poverty. The Knight of Wands is clarified by the 5 of Pentacles. And the King of Swords is with the Moon. So you know you're an intelligent person. The problem is you're not as smart as you think you are when it comes to this person. The 3 of Wands is on the bottom. You have to leave your house. Yeah, the 10 of Pentacles. You're going to have to move. You're going to have to move. And you know it. The 8 of Wands is under that. The divine is teaching you a lesson about tyrannical people and to not involve yourself with tyrannical people. You cannot fight other people's demons and win. You can only fight your own demons. And right now you are giving and giving and giving in order to try and maintain control of a situation that is not controllable. The person you are dealing with cannot be controlled. Listen to what I'm saying. They cannot be controlled. There is no amount of giving that you can do for this person that would calm their demons. None. They are a cyclone. They are volatile. They will destroy what they cannot have, including you. You cannot give enough to this person for them to change. They are impoverished in their energy. They are a black hole sucking in the light of other people. And in this case, the light they are destroying is yours. It's yours. Let's get insight into person number 2 because they feel like a fucking psycho. Person number 2, please. Spirit, insight into person number 2 and where they are at. Because person number 1 is delusional if they think they can outsmart this person or change this person. If they can keep giving to this person and subdue the shadows, they can't. Insight into person number 2, please. Definitely connected to you from a past life. 6 of Cups is out. Clarities, please. This person acts or behaves as if they're single. They do not act with you in consideration. One more, please. They're playing to your emotions. This is emotional. And they're stuck. 6 of Cups with the Hanged Man. Strong Pisces energy. Strong water energy. 3 of Cups is on the bottom. And the Moon is on top. They're keeping a third party hidden. I'm hearing the words trick or treat. To be tuned into this person's energy, they're extremely draining. They do not love you like they claim. There is a third person involved. They are behaving as if they're single. They're not taking you into consideration. They've haunted you before. Your emotions, you're a plaything. Emotional abuse. They'll say, I love you, and then cheat on you in the same day. This is someone who they believe their own lies. Like when they speak certain things, they quote unquote mean it when they say it, but it's gone in a flash. They don't actually mean it, but they sound like they do. This person's exceptionally deceptive. They're emotionally manipulative. They play on those emotions. They know your fears. They know. They read your shadows and see inside your dark spaces and exploit it easily. Nothing they say is true. Nothing they say is true. They're afraid of you choosing your independence from them, an independent path, because they're feeding off your energy. What's the vibe? What's the vibe? Escape, running, and stagnant, stuck. Consequences. If you look at this card, Archangel Michael is trying to help you see right now. Archangel Michael popped into my head, and it's underneath this card. Archangel Michael's here. Because Archangel Michael knows you're suffering in silence. She's got matches taped to her face and is about to light them. This is someone who would make disastrous choices. And if you're catching this reading, it's because Archangel Michael is trying to save you from this. A part of you wants to run, and a part of you feels stuck. Likewise, they also want to run potentially towards a third party, but they feel stuck with you as well. And I feel like they'd be willing to go to extremes in order to unstick themselves. I'm no psychiatrist, but this person's unwell. Hey, Sarah Slays, how you doing? This person is unwell. I've got a lot of watery cards out here. Emotionally, yeah, you are exhausted. You are exhausted and just want some kind of harmony, and all you have is chaos. You wish you could torch it all. You are doing your damnedest to try and set some boundaries with this person, and the more you try and set boundaries, the more they cling and cross those boundaries you're trying to set. It's like drawing a line in the sand and they're erasing the line and stepping over it anyway, like the line's not even there. You need to get as far away from this person as you can. There is no reasoning. There is no reasoning with this second person. They are shadow through and through. And I promise you, they are the kind of person that anytime you try and free yourself, anytime you try and escape them, anytime you try and move forward, anytime you try and better yourself or better your life in some way, they will fucking fuck it up. Someone is in deeper shit than they realize. Person number one does not realize the kind of person they're actually dealing with person number two. And I think that's why this reading is what it is. Because person number one needs to realize who they're dealing with. They're dealing with something that feels worse than the devil. This person is a shitstorm on fire. And they are mentally and emotionally unstable. Way unstable. They do not care about consequence. Like, they're the kind of person that would light the house on fire and burn it down and laugh as they're being taken away in the cop car. Laugh. Like they're not well. I don't know if I could spell that out any clearer. They would laugh because you would be distraught and in a place of devastation, and they would laugh. What is the divine conversation, please? Oh, I hear you, Sarah Sleeves. I hear you. What is the divine conversation Spirit wants to have with the viewer, regardless of them being person one or two or something else entirely? Because this is a present circumstance that you have insight into. It doesn't necessarily have to be your situation. What is the divine conversation, Spirit, that you want to have with the viewer? What is the divine conversation that you want to have with the viewer? There's order to my chaos. Nothing is what it seems. If it makes no sense, it's because it doesn't. And you are to stop trying to make sense of it. Maybe thinking it is crazy. You cannot make sense of person number two, or why person number one is dealing with person number two. There's a reason why person number two is in the vicinity of person number one. Shadows like that, black hole people like that, demons like that are catalysts for people to find their light when they thought they had none. I'm going to say that one more time. Demons are catalysts for people to find their light when they thought they had none. What else? There's a reason why person number one attracted person number two, and it's because they have an attachment to control. You know you are wasting your money, spending it on the wrong things. Help yourself. Did I or did I not say that with person number 1? That they were giving and giving and giving. That's 6 of coins, giving money, giving financially, giving circumstance, giving. Pay off your debts and save. This is your spiritual debt. The money that you're pouring or investing into person number 2, right? If you are, in fact, person number 1, like you are wasting your money, spending it on the wrong things. Like you need to help yourself. You need to help yourself. Give me one more. I feel like there's one more. Two more. You have an unexpected ally, someone you haven't connected to in a while. You don't see them for the toxic energy that they are, a demon in angel's clothing. Someone has a hidden agenda or a hidden motive. The demon does. You don't see them for who they are. And you have an unexpected ally that you haven't connected with in a while, someone at a distance from you. And you need to reach out to them. You need to reach out to them. If you know who I'm talking about, if you were guided to this reading and it found you in divine time, you have someone who is on your side and you don't realize it. Someone who could help you, and you need to reach out to them. Because the demon you are with, you do not see them for who they are. You do not see them for the darkness that they carry and what they're doing to wreck your fucking life. If you haven't prayed in a while, I suggest you call on Archangel Michael. I suggest you call on Archangel Michael to help you slay this demon in your life. Metaphorically speaking, to get them out of your life. Call on your angels. Call on your angels. The divine works with these energies. Us as humans are not used to it. It's above our human space to believe and perceive and think. Like, you've got to believe in angels and call on them to help you out of this fucking mess. And if this reading is not about you in particular, best believe, if someone starts praying, person number 1 starts praying, you just might be the answer. Like this reading, we started it with the vision. It was meant to bring revelation, more than likely for a male, so that they can see the situation that they are in for exactly what it is. They are dealing with what feels like worse than the devil. That is a fucking nightmare. All right. Reading number 3. All right. Reading number 3. If you were drawn to reading number 3, this reading is future insight. It has not transpired yet. It is something you need to know about the future so that you can make your highest good choices for yourself in the present moment. It's something that you need insight into and to be made aware of so that you can choose accordingly. Okay? This has not happened yet. But it's something that you need insight into. Whether it is the product of the current path you're on or a potential path that you can choose if you reroute. Let's see what Spirit has to say about the future circumstance. Spirit, please. Archangel Michael, guide. What do we need to know about the people or the energy in the future? Events that have not transpired yet. Even versions of ourselves that we haven't become yet. What do we need to see and understand so that we can choose in our highest good accordingly in the present? What insight would you gift us with? Who is person or energy number 1? The cricket, the snake bite, and the marriage. Who or what is energy person number 2? The waxworks and the peacock. And the owl. All right, I know the vibe I immediately got off of that. Sickness is on the bottom. Kipper Spirit, further clarify person or energy number 1. Further clarify person number 1. Message. Further clarify person number 2. Courthouse. False person. Mature woman is on the bottom. Might be a blast from the past, right? Because that came out in reading number 1 with the first person. Hand-drawn cards. Give me an archetypal energy to add to person number 1, please. Further clarify person number 1. Interesting. I'm going to put them back in, but the sun came out, followed by the match and the addiction. So person number 1 might be a very bright energy that literally requires someone else to put a match to their addictions. But we're going to keep going. The alchemist set was on the bottom of the deck. I should have said it out loud. I saw the circus in my mind. It came out sideways. Clarify person number 2. The comet. Bottom of the deck is the honor. All right. The cricket. the snake bite, and the marriage. The cricket is neutral good. The cricket is a grig, a creature whose mind is as quick as its body. It represents speed and quick passage. Although the cricket is commonly associated with travel, the peach it sits by represents treasure at the end. The snake bite is chaotic evil. It's a vile poisoned weapon. Poison takes many forms, not all of them physical. The poison on the assassin's blade represents the death of ideas and freedom, as well as the ability to turn friends against each other or poison the minds of the virtuous. And the marriage, which we've read, can be a union of people or ideas or other distinct things. The progeny of the salamander and the water weird shows that a union might bring forth new power from both parties, or it might be a ruinous joining of that which should never have been united. Once wedded, the two cannot be parted. It's a card of permanent change. Comes out with the message and the circus, and the circus is sideways. How I feel about this person. The cricket being the first card out and a good aligned card. It's almost as if a good person is wielding shadow with the chaotic evil snake bite card. And they've married the two together, okay? Cannot be split apart. This person how do I want to say that? I think there's a treasure at the end with this person. And I think they wield that weapon against other evil. Like, they themselves are good. And they know that the weapon they wield is shadow. But they fight shadow with shadow. They use that to fight shadow. Almost as if the person that they're battling or choose to battle, it's almost like a hidden friend. The cricket would be deemed an enemy. But in reality, it's almost like they're throwing the same toxic medicine back at the toxic person who's trying to be venomous themselves. Because snake venom, if you think about it, is similar to a mushroom. There is poisonous venom that can paralyze or kill, and then there's the other side of venom that can be turned into extremely powerful, potent medicine. And with the circus coming out sideways, they don't necessarily go to the circus for the show, but they themselves might find themselves a part of the circus on occasion. And when they find themselves in the circus, they put on quite a show. Like anybody who would draw this person in and make them a part of the drama will leave people who pulled them into the drama wishing they never did. Like, people don't know the actual power behind this person. Especially because the cricket has cards. They may be highly intuitive or a reader, or they read for themselves if they're not like in the public reading. But Saturn, the star, and the moon all came out on the cricket's cards. Saturn is the world card. It's the ending of cycles, the moon being disillusionment, and the star being healing. This is a healer. Person number one is a healer. And I don't think unsuspecting people understand what they're getting involved with when they try and drag the cricket into their drama. When they try and drag person number one into the drama, because person number one will clean that shit up. They will sweep the floor with whoever creates drama. Like, this person could have been bullied or made to feel small. But crickets, if you've ever listened to crickets, there's an actual clip you can listen to on YouTube of the sound that crickets make slowed down. It's like slowed down like 200 or 300 times. It's like super slowed down. But it sounds like an angelic choir. When you slow down the sound of crickets, it sounds like an angelic choir. This person might have what is a legion of angels behind them. Like, highly protected person. And they know how to wield poison. It's almost like the poisons that have tried to get them in life, the poisonous people, they've learned how to wield it so that it literally can't be used against them. Like, no one else holds the snake bite, that weapon, because they do. They've stolen the power away from evil and hold it for themselves and fight evil with it. And with the message card, this person might be receiving some kind of communication, because either, yeah, they're receiving it. They're not writing it, they're receiving it, because the stamp, the wax seal is broken. They're opening the letter. This person is going to receive some kind of communication, whether it's written or typed or via phone. Someone is calling on the cricket. Right? Future readings. Someone is calling on the cricket. Because the cricket wields a very special kind of medicine. Now, person number 2. We got the waxworks, the peacock, and the owl. The waxworks came out in reading number 1 as well. The waxworks is chaotic evil. It's a place of helplessness and physical entropy. The mind might be willing, but the flesh is frozen in place of horror. It is also the card of torture and imprisonment, signifying literal inability to move or paralysis of a more prosaic kind. If person number 2 is communicating to the cricket, it is because they are absolutely helpless and stuck in the situation they're in. They can't get out. They can't get out. The peacock is a creature of astonishing beauty, but it is a beauty that can only be retained if frozen, like a cockatrice's statues. Smarter people accept the passage of time and dance out of the peacock's way. Its appearance always signifies a sudden personal shift in attitude or societal change. The owl represents the eternal wisdom of natural order. It is the harsh realism that causes a pack of wolves to cull the weak in the herd. It is tragic for the culled deer, but through such actions, the herd grows stronger. The needle the owl holds binds life together, but just as easily can pick that life apart. They came out with the comet, the courthouse, and the false person. So wherever this person is trapped, the most beautiful aspects of them are being showcased where they are. Empathy, compassion, selflessness, all of these things are being shown where they're at. And they're stuck there. It's like the blind empath that bleeds for the narcissist. I'm going to give you an example because courthouse and false person, this can go a few ways, especially because we're talking about a future read, right? This isn't what's happening right now. It's what could happen at a different point in time later. Either they are literally separating from a false person, a false romantic interest, or a false flame. And they're coming to the wisdom, right, of the first person or the beauty of themselves. Or their beauty is only showcased where they're at and where they're stuck, and they're calling on the first person to get them out of it. The thing is, they might still be contracted, right, courthouse and contracts to be a false person. And if they exit the situation that they are in, they are no longer that beautiful person. They're beautiful in their energy to that person, but not to the first person. In this read, right? Person number one. How the kindness of an empath is taken advantage of by a narcissist. It's almost as if this person is stuck inside their empathy with someone and they're suffering and calling on the first person to get them out of it. Help me. And like a comet, this person just might pass by. They come around from time to time, but they never stick around. And if they were to stick around or enter someone's life, they could be catastrophic, right? They could be literally catastrophic to the first person. Beautiful and admirable from a distance, who they are in their stuck place. But if they were to come any closer, it could cause catastrophe. And or they had a meeting with one themselves, a comet, someone who caused catastrophe. And they've gained a lot of wisdom from the experience. They're trying to pick that reality apart. They're trying to undo it. Let's get into the tarot. Let's get a little more insight into this. What's going on with the first person? What is the insight that we need to better see and understand with person number one, the cricket? Temperance in reverse. The Five of Wands. The Ace of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles. The Five of Cups on the Five of Wands. Give me one more, please. The bottom of the deck is the King of Pentacles. Top is the Five of Swords. Triple fives, quadruple fives. Right, because Temperance is 14, that's 5. Person number one needs to know that they are stable. They are a King of Pentacles energy. If and when communication comes in from person number two, it's going to upset their healing process. And they're going to be conflicted and sad. But the new beginning, the Ace of Pentacles, is a deception with the Seven of Swords. Person number 2 is a comet. They don't stick around. It's interesting because I'm being drawn to Chiron, the actual astrological luminary Chiron, the dwarf planet / comet. It has a really interesting, what's the word I'm looking for? Classification. Some people classify Chiron as a comet. Person number 2 would drag person number 1 back into the circus. And they already got out of the circus. Person number 2 stunts person number 1's healing. Okay. That you need to understand. Person number 1 would be extremely conflicted and probably fall into a depression, especially if they believed person number 2 and allowed a new foundation to begin, but it would be built on lies and deception. The cardinal on the card is in reverse, and cardinals are associated with Archangel Michael. So in reverse, it's like dealing with person number 2. Your angels cannot protect you if you choose to deal with this person. You'll be in the shit. Person number 2 is only beautiful where they are, and it's better they stay there. It's better they stay stuck where they are. Give me some insight into this person number 2, please, Spirit. What is going on with person number 2? Seven of Wands. Four of Cups. Three of Wands. Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Justice. Libran energy. That's doubled over with the courthouse. Could be dealing with a Libra. Person number 2 could be a Libra, or have it really strong in their chart. Person number 1 could have strong Sagittarian energy with the Temperance there for person number 1. Give me one more clarifier for person number 2, please, Spirit. The Hermit could also have strong Virgo energy. The 9 of Coins is on top, or on the bottom. The King of Pentacles on top. Both of y'all have the King of Pentacles on top. King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles is under that. King of Pentacles is on the bottom of person number 1's deck. It's with the Sun card. person number 2, as I'm being nosy on the bottom of their deck, 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, like they're Hanged Man, Wheel of Fortune, 6 of Cups, 3 of Cups, 3 of Swords, 7 of Swords. This is someone who makes a lot of big promises. A lot of big promises. And ends up not following through on any of it. Seven of Wands with the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. They're trying to undo something that they started. It's like they're reaping what they've sown and they're trying to undo it. And they're looking at the 4 of Cups, right? The missed opportunity with person number 1. They're thinking about moving forward on their own, away from whatever third party they may have attached themselves to. They might literally be wanting to heal from wherever they are. The thing is, they need to move on by themselves. They can't drag person number 2 into their healing. Because ultimately, the path they're on, they need to be independent and single. They might not understand or know what healthy relationships are. And so either they attract super toxic relationships or they become the super toxic one in a relationship. Where they're at now, they might have attracted a toxic relationship and they are in the higher state of being, empathic, compassionate, all of these things. But that's because they're with a toxic person. If they exit the relationship with a toxic person, with a healthy person, a healed person, they become toxic again. Because this person, I think, is used to toxicity. And until they're single for a while and go on their own healing journey solo, they're going to continue in that pattern of either attracting super toxic or being super toxic. They need to be single for a while. They need to reflect on why they miss Ace of Cups opportunities, why they miss divine opportunities, right? That 4 of Cups. They need to balance that within themselves and undo the bad seeds that they've planted and the things that have grown from those bad seeds. Because if they think, this is the thing with person number 1, right? They have that duality about them where they're good, but they know how to wield shadow. I think that person number 2 going back to person number 1, or attempting to, person number 2 would have to wield that poison against them. which would just keep person number 2 in the same kind of toxic situations that they are attracted to. Because person number 1 can't be the empathic and compassionate person with person number 2, because that would allow person number 2 to be toxic again. So person number 1 is good by nature, but would have to be toxic against their own nature in order to coexist in some way with person number 2. Having one foot in and one foot out of the circus. Person number 2 doesn't want to be in the toxic, trapped waxwork situation that they're in, which is why they're reaching out to person number 1 to begin with, because it was better with person number 1, but they themselves were toxic. They have to heal the part of themselves that's toxic so that person number 1 doesn't have to go against their own nature and or suffer being in their nature, because person number 2 would slip back into their old way of being. And again, we're revisiting from the first reading in the first live, because the mature woman was on the bottom of the Kipper deck in this read. Right. Oh, and the privileged lady, no matter how many times I've shuffled this deck, is still under that one. Yeah, the sickness, right? The sickness was on the bottom of the harrow. Someone is dealing with their own, person number 2, I feel like it's person number 2, is dealing with their own sickness. And person number 1 cannot go anywhere near them without getting sick. And or they had a sin, and that is not who they are. They know how to be it, but they don't necessarily want to be it. That's not who they are. In order for person number 2 to quote unquote stay beautiful, they would have to wield poison against them and be toxic. What is the divine conversation, Spirit, please, that you want to have with the viewer who was guided to reading number 3? What is the divine conversation you want to have with the viewer who is guided to watch this reading? What is the divine conversation you want to have with the viewer who is guided to watch this reading? Stay in your lane and don't move so fast or be in such a hurry that you miss your exit. Feel good about your direction. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Person 1 and person 2 should probably just stay separate from each other for the time being. You are one of my angels here. You haven't actually made any mistakes. Do as you are guided from here. The word is open. You are one of my angels here. You need to understand that as the viewer. You haven't actually made any mistakes. Everything that you've done or chosen has been with purpose, whether you realize it or not. It has served the greater good as an angel to the divine in some way. Give me one last word, please, Spirit, for the viewer. Got a few. You know you are wasting your money spending it on the wrong things. Help yourself. You are somewhere you don't belong. It's not the future you're trying to make it be. Let it go. Dispel your pride. You didn't fail. If you blocked someone you love, and you know you do, even through your pain, acknowledge you are doing or involved in something blocking yourself. I think that person number one is likely already single or has married themselves. They're in a place of inner union. But that state of inner union is fragile. It's new. And they need to stay in their own lane and not get distracted by person number two. I think both of these people are earth angels here in their own regard. And need to continue doing as they're guided to do, in alignment with each other, even if they're apart from each other. I think person number two is investing in the wrong place. They're somewhere they don't belong, and they're trying, right? That bullshit word. They're trying to make a future that they need to let go of. Their pride is keeping them there, and they need to accept that they didn't fail. And that if they have blocked mentally, literally, emotionally, person number one in some way, that they need to acknowledge how much they actually truly do love person number one, and need to stop blocking themselves from such a person. Because what they're choosing is blocking them from person number one. They need to drop their guard. They need to drop their walls. They need to go on the journey and do the healing. They need to be solo for a while. I do believe that they are a counterpart, a divine counterpart to person number one. And that maybe there is some emulation at play here. That person number two needs to integrate the sovereignty that person number one is showcasing, and not allowing other people to disrupt their healing path. Because wherever person number two feels trapped, or whoever they're trapped with, it is preventing their healing. It's causing depression and inner conflict, and the foundation they think they're building is a lie. So if you are catching this reading in divine time, and you're person number 1, you need to allow person number 2 to continue their healing journey on their own without you, if and when you receive communication from them. And if you are person number 2, you can reach out to person number 1, but you have to understand that person number 1 knows how to wield the shadow, and they are going to come at you with a medicine that you don't need to necessarily take that path, and they don't necessarily want to take it. They don't want to hurt you. They don't want you to be in pain. They are good at their core. They don't want to see you in pain. They just know that the only way to keep you in your beauty as of this reading's present moment, whatever moment in the future that is, they know the only way to keep you in your beautiful self is by being toxic themselves. And they don't want to wield toxicity in order to receive your beauty. You need to find your own path and heal so that you can just simply be beautiful with them, so that they don't have to wield that weapon against you and can just be your partner in their good energy. I think if you're person number 2 and you can be solo for a while and do your healing, that you would find yourself in good energetic standing to align with person number 1. But person number 1 doesn't want to be a part of the circus. They don't want to watch the circus, witness the circus. They are not interested. So you have to figure out your life, right? You have to figure out your life. If you're a person number 2, you have to figure out yourself. And walk side by side with person number 1 as someone who is good. You guys are earth angels here. And you can work together to be angels or end up battling your demons in each other's presence. And I don't think either of you want to fight the other. What's the vibe with this? Yeah, wow. So person number 2 had these 2 cards fall out on their piles. It's hopeless and time. They're delaying, they're depressed, they probably are dealing with really dark thoughts and are facing losses where they're at. Person number 1, these cards fell on their piles and they've blocked the chaos. They've moved on. They have nothing to say. They're blocking upheaval, disaster, and downfall. They do not want to be involved with the circus. Mm-mm. No, they've blocked the chaos out. Person number 2 is definitely in a rough space. And if they are calling on person number 1, it's because they ran out of every other road, Every other path, every other choice that they've made has led them to a dead end or just brought them deeper down into their dark place. And they're putting it off and they're procrastinating reaching out to person number one. What person number two has to realize is they cannot bring drama to person number one. They cannot bring the circus or the chaos to person number one. They've blocked it out. They're probably divinely protected. If you look at this, it's the cyclone, right? It's the cyclone in the background. And the cyclone came out in reading number 2. If all 3 of these readings tied together, if all 3 of these readings tied together, the past, the present, and the future. Person number 1 was the path disregarded in the first reading. And person number 1 chose the privileged person who ended up being the cyclone, the demon, the crow in the second spread. The fucking nightmare that person number 1 in the second reading was stuck with. And now in the future, person number 2 is trying to reopen the door with the lost person in the first read. But that person has grown quite a bit and has a zero tolerance policy for drama and bullshit. So person number 2 is going to have to disconnect entirely from the path they previously chose because it was the false path to begin with. They have to cut it out entirely. And I feel like person number 2 doesn't know what to do. They don't know if they can detach from the path they chose entirely, especially if there is contracts involved, whether it is sharing a living situation or a home is involved, or they're with a crazy psycho person that they have children with or married in some which way, shape, or form, or committed to in some which way, shape, or form. Like they would have to raze, R-A-Z-E, to the ground, level it, and continue on in their life as if that path was never chosen. Like that path did not exist. Like the toxic demon person does not exist. They would have to move far away in secret and disappear. And try and rebuild with person number 1. And pick up the pieces that should have never been put down to begin with. Let's pull a guidance card. Let's pull a guidance card. This is the Magical Spirit Oracle by 𝐸𝐶𝐻𝐸𝐶. What is the guidance, please, Spirit? There is a reason you have those dreams. The mystic, intuition, high priestess, visionary. Card number 1. It says, the mystic, intuition, high priestess, visionary, self-belief. The affirmation, I trust that I am a powerful visionary. You're a mystic. Stop doubting your insights, visions, and dreams. Your magic and intuition are on the rise. You are more powerful right now than you might think. Trust that there is a reason you have been given these things at this time. A hidden layer just beneath the surface will soon appear. Take special note of any visions, peculiar night dreams, new desires, new life goals, or seemingly quote-unquote random ideas you'd like to take action on. Have you had any recently? Ponder and pay attention. Perhaps there is one or more coming. You are a strong portal of connection. It's time to take a closer look within, and when you do, don't invalidate yourself. Believe. Take inspired action and heed the signs. There are omens pointing the way, patterns, signs, and repeating themes. Observe, allow, listen. Spirit says, go deeper and be bold in your endeavors. Trust the dreams and desires you are inspired by. There is a reason they are yours. You have magic within and are capable of divine insight. Trust in that, and your intuition will grow and deepen every time you do. Every relationship grows with trust and consistency. Your connection to your magic is no different. Start writing things down, especially if you get quote-unquote random downloads from spirit. Practice taking them more seriously. A consistent spiritual practice such as meditating, journaling, connecting with nature, or engaging in silence is going to be extremely helpful at this time. Be open to receive and believe. And that is the guidance. There's a reason you want what you want. And every time you follow that inner guidance system, you're not wrong. It's taking you one step closer to what it is you want to achieve every time. If you're person number 1 or person number 2, or any person involved in any of these readings, trust in what you want and that what you desire desires you. And to obtain it, you have to follow the steps. You have to follow the signs, the synchronicities, the angel numbers. You have to pay attention to the guidance that you're getting from spirit that reminds you that you are not alone and in fact are connected to the divine. Like even earlier, I ordered Domino's for me and my son. And after I put the tip on, my total changed to $44.44. I was like, what are the fucking odds? Trust that the universe is speaking to you and reminding you that you're on the right path. Trust that you are not alone, no matter how alone you might feel, because your angels are with you if you call on them. They won't intervene unless you ask them to. So ask them. If you feel like you are stuck, Archangel Michael, I call you in to intervene on my behalf. Save me from the demons that I don't know how to win this battle. Help me. I call you in. Archangel Uriel, I call you in to bring light to my dark places, to help me see. I call you in. Archangel Raphael, I call you in to heal my heart where I have taken damage. Archangel Raphael, I call you in. Please intervene. Help me heal my heart. Archangel Chamuel, I call you in to mend the relationships that in my broken state I left broken. I'm asking you to intervene. On my behalf, help my relationships heal. I call you in. Archangel Gabriel, I call you in. Give me the words that need to be spoken in my highest good. Give me the words to speak. I'm calling you in. Help me. Intervene on my behalf. I call you in. Call your angels in. They will help you. Call on Archangel Raziel. Ask him to work his magic. Help him to reconnect you to the magic that you've disconnected from. Ask him to intervene. Call him in. Call on Ariel for strength. Call on Jophiel for mercy. Call on Haniel for compassion to show yourself and others. Call on your angels. Call on Metatron. Call on Archangel Metatron to keep those signs and synchronicities coming to help you be reminded that you are not alone and that you are on the right path. Call on Archangel Metatron to help you rewrite your Akashic history so that you're not repeating the same fucking story. Call your angels in. You got a whole legion of angels willing to work for you if you call them in. They will not intervene or act unless you ask. They will not infringe upon your free will. You have to choose it. Choose to call them in. And they will come when you call. They always have, and they always will. Call them in. If for the first time ever, call them in. This is what they do. They wait for these moments. I love you guys. Stay blessed. Thank your angels. Thank your angels for hearing you, listening to you, and supporting you. Call them in with gratitude. Stay blessed. Live your best life. Do your healing. Stay in your lane. Remember, there are no such thing as mistakes, just lessons. And we learn them and we move on. All right. Best to everybody. I will catch you guys in divine time next time. See you, everyone.